Did you know that your emotions play a bigger role in your financial decisions than your IQ? Yes, you heard that right. Your feelings might be spending your money. It's like your heart is pulling out your credit card and saying, "Don't worry, you deserve that pair of designer shoes," while your brain is screaming in the background. But what about the mortgage payments? Welcome the emotional roller coaster of personal finance, a ride that's as thrilling as it is terrifying. Now imagine fear as this sneaky little devil sitting on your shoulder. It whispers nothings like, "What if the stock market crashes?" or "What if you lose your job?" And before you know it, you're hoarding money under your mattress instead of making sound investments. That's fear dictating your financial decisions, folks. But wait, there's more. Let's not forget joy. That bubbly, enthusiastic cheerleader that makes you feel invincible. Joy convinces you that buying that new car or taking that exotic vacation is a fantastic idea because, hey, you only live once, right? But remember, joy can lead you down the slippery slope of debt if you're not careful. Then there's pressure, that nagging voice that keeps telling you to keep up with the Joneses. Pressure convinces you that need the latest iPhone, the biggest house, the flashiest car. But let's be honest, the Joneses are probably up to their eyeballs in debt. And finally, we have the temptation of instant gratification, that irresistible urge to satisfy our wants and needs immediately. It's like a child in a candy store, eyes wide, mouth watering, unable to resist the allure of instant satisfaction. But as we all know, too much candy can lead to a stomachache, or in this case, a financial headache. So next time you're about to buy that 70-inch TV on impulse, ask yourself, is it your brain talking or is it just your fear of missing out on the next big Netflix series? Have you ever made a purchase out of fear? Ever bought something you didn't need just because it was on sale? Welcome to the club of instant gratification. Now let's take a moment to talk about our dear friend, instant gratification. You know, that little voice in your head that convinces you to buy that fifth pair of sneakers because, well, they're 50% off. No harm, no foul, right? Except for the fact that your bank account might be crying a river later. Instant gratification is like that friend who always convinces you to order the extra-large pizza when you're already full. Sounds like fun in the moment, but you're going to regret it later. It's the reason why we sometimes make purchases that feel good in the moment but may not align with our long-term financial goals. You see, instant gratification is the ultimate smooth talker. It's the master of persuasion, always ready with a compelling argument. "You've had a tough week, you deserve this," it says. Or, "Come on, it's on sale, it's practically a steal." And before you know it, you're walking out of the store with a brand new gadget that you didn't need, and certainly didn't budget for. But fear not, there are ways to resist this charming temptress. One trick is to implement a cooling off period. If you see something you want but don't need, give yourself 24 hours to think it over. More often than not, the urge to buy will have passed by the time the clock runs out. Another tip is to make a list before you go shopping and then stick to it. This can help keep your spending focused and prevent impulse buys. And remember, just because something is on sale doesn't mean you need to buy it. In the end, it's all about balance. It's perfectly okay to treat yourself now and then, but make sure it's something you truly want and can afford. Remember, a discount is not a saving if you didn't need it in the first place, but hey, who are we to judge? Maybe you really did need that inflatable unicorn pool floaty. So, let's ask the question, what was your most regrettable impulse buy? Oh, the Joneses, they have a new car, a bigger house, and a fancier vacation. Makes you want to keep up, doesn't it? But at what cost? We've all met the Joneses, haven't we? Or maybe you're a Jones yourself. Either way, you can't deny the pull of the social treadmill. You see, it's not about the money or the things, it's about the perception. You want to be seen as successful, as someone who's got it all together. But here's the thing, folks, this pressure to keep up with appearances, it can lead to some unhealthy financial habits. Imagine this, you're through your social media feed and you see your friend from high school just bought a new luxury car. You feel that little pang of jealousy, don't you? Suddenly your reliable paid-off sedan seems a little less shiny. You start to think, maybe it's time for an upgrade. But here's the kicker, you don't really need a new car, do you? That's the pressure to keep up with appearances in action, my friends. It's all about looking the part, even if it means stretching your finances thin. But let me tell you something, this is a game you can't win. There will always be someone with a bigger house, a newer car, or a more exotic vacation. You'll keep spending money you don't have, to buy things you don't need, to impress people you don't even like. Sounds ridiculous when you put it that way, doesn't it? So how do you manage this pressure without compromising financial health? Well, it's simpler than you might think. First, you need to recognize the difference between wants and needs. You need a car to get to work, but you want a luxury car to impress your friends. See the difference? Next, set your financial goals and stick to them. Whether it's saving for retirement, paying off debt, or building an emergency fund, keep your eye on the prize. Don't let the Joneses derail you from your path. And finally, remember, it's your money, your life. You get to decide how to it. Don't let the pressure to keep up with appearances dictate your financial decisions, because at the end of the day, the only person you need to impress is yourself. So, next time you feel the urge to out-Jones the Joneses, remember, you don't need to impress anyone. Unless it's your mother-in-law, then maybe consider renting a yacht. Now I leave you with a question. Have you ever felt pressured to keep up with the Joneses? Ever felt the joy of finding money in your old jeans? Now imagine feeling that joy while making financial decisions. Sounds too good to be true, right? Well, buckle up because we're about to take a joyride into the world of finance. Imagine your bank account as a garden. You've got your savings, which are like your sturdy oak trees, and your investments akin to your blossoming flower beds. Now, if you're watering these plants with the wrong emotions, such as fear or instant gratification, they'll wither. But sprinkle a little joy on them and watch them thrive. So how do we find this elusive joy in finance? One way is by aligning our spending with our values and priorities. If you're passionate about travel, save and invest towards that dream vacation. If you're an avid reader, allocate a portion of your budget towards buying books. This way, every financial decision becomes a step towards what truly brings you joy. The key is to educate ourselves about our investment options. Knowledge gives us the power to make informed decisions, and trust me, there's nothing more joyous than understanding where your money is going and watching it grow. Cultivating joy in our financial life is like adding a secret ingredient to a recipe. It doesn't just make the process more enjoyable, but it also leads to a more fulfilling outcome. It's the difference between merely surviving and truly thriving. But remember, joy is not about spending recklessly or living beyond your means. It's about finding happiness in making smart, mindful decisions that align with your goals and dreams. So, align your spending with what truly brings you joy. And if that's buying inflatable unicorn pool floaties, then so be it. What financial decision has brought you the most joy? So, what's the secret to mastering your finances? It's not just about being smart with numbers, it's about being smart with your emotions. Yes, you heard it right. Your emotional intelligence is like your secret superpower in the world of personal finance. Let's rewind a bit, shall we? Remember the tantalizing temptation of instant gratification or the pressure to keep up with the Joneses? And how could we forget the profound power of joy in financial decisions? These aren't just random emotional roller coasters, they're the intricate dance of emotional intelligence and money. So how about we tango instead of tripping over our own feet? It's not about suppressing emotions, but rather understanding and managing them. This, my friend, is the real deal. It's about aligning your financial decisions with your values and priorities, and finding joy in the journey. So go forth and conquer your financial world, armed with your newfound emotional intelligence. And remember, if all else fails, there's always the lottery. Now here's a thought-provoking question for you. If money can't buy happiness, can it buy emotional intelligence? Before we end, here's another question to ponder upon. How has emotional intelligence helped you in your financial journey? Alright, we've delved into the emotional roller coaster of personal finance, the temptation of instant gratification, the pressure to keep up with appearances, and the joy in financial decisions. We've also explored the power of emotional intelligence in managing money. Now, it's time to put all these pieces together and harness your emotions for financial success. Think about it. Every financial decision you make is influenced by your emotions, consciously or subconsciously. Therefore, understanding your emotional triggers can help you make better financial decisions. For instance, if you know that you are prone to impulsive spending when you're stressed, you can develop strategies to manage your stress levels and avoid unnecessary expenses. Similarly, if you understand that the joy of financial decisions comes from aligning them with your values and priorities, you can make more fulfilling financial choices. So, remember, your emotions are not your enemy. They are just signals, guiding you through your financial journey. The key is to listen to these signals, understand them, and use them to your advantage. Because at the end of the day, financial success is not just about the numbers, it's about how you feel about those numbers. So let's get emotional about money, in the right way. And before we move on, here's a quick tip. It's okay to feel emotional about money, but don't let your emotions control your money. In the next scene, we will wrap up our journey and share some final thoughts. Stay tuned.